Hello and welcome! Gripple me like a hog and bugger me sideways. We're starting a new campaign and it's going to be fun. The shadow of Mordor is rising. The Nazgul whisper of war, even their whispers, a howling shriek of tumultuous doom. And so forth and so forth. Dark Lord of preparation near their completion and we are poised to strike. The 9 command our forces and will empty Mordor, Kiridungal and Durthang, to bring the grand hosts of Mordor crashing down like a wave upon Gondor. As we might see, the tribes. The power of our Lord Sauron holds great sway over the tribesmen of Rhûn, Harad, and Khand, and the men there follow Melkor, as all should. In bargains and shows of power done long ago, the tribesmen are required to send troops to our aid as long as we maintain healthy relationships with them. As long as our banners fly in unity and we maintain control of the Black Gate and the Dark Tower, then we can call upon some of these troops directly. Through the gate, the Easterlings will slowly send us battalions of their most heavily armed warriors, and the Southrons will send valuable mounted battalions along with some foot divisions to supplement our own hordes. The men of Khand have agreed to supply far more troop formations to the Dark Tower, but we must first construct a holding ground for them there. Should these treaties dissolve, or we lose control of the gate or the tower, then the men of the tribes will abandon our cause. And then we have the Nazgul. The One Ring has been missing for countless years now, and has appeared on the books of history as only a softly spoken whisper. Wherever it lies, the ring yearns to return to our master. He calls to it each and every day, but silence is all that calls back. Yet hope is kindled anew. A faint song calls from the west. It can only be the One Ring. Our master must have it, and so his most faithful servants have been dispatched. Camul, Lagorraine, and Glargor have been sent to Dol Guldur to guard the passages of the Anduin and the Gladden rivers. They will not return lest that fortress falls. Each of the others, however, will return in time with news of their search. They will come back to the Dark Tower, not as one, but individually. And the Witch King will likely be the last to return. He may yet be gone for another 12 years. Leofric was not sent, as it falls to him to lead the armies of Mordor in the Witch King's absence. Alright, so Mordor it is. Here we have quite an interesting nation. It's a nation we have fought many times on this campaign, and indeed are on this channel, and indeed are fighting on this channel. But now we are taking matters into the hands of the Dark Lord, so to speak, and just taking stock at what we've got here. Well, we've got the Heartlands of Mordor. That's what we've got. And a little economic powerhouse over here. And another one over here. Yeah. So, this, according to a vote held on the community tab of the channel the other day, is going to be a Shattered Alliances campaign. As such, we have no allies. We have no enemies. So there is an argument to be made that we should try to establish alliances with the, the tribes and stuff in order to really do the whole get all the units that we might want. But really, to be fair, I think that goes against the spirit of things. We are supposed to be one, singular within the world, and we shall triumph singularly without the aid of these Haradrim buggers, without these Southron Salafists, without the runic rear guard. Yeah, we'll do it without them. So, What is our diplomat gonna do?
At your service.
Well, initially, I guess he's just gonna walk around and offer trade rights, really. But we are going to accept no alliances in this campaign. We're simply not. Simply not. Since we border Gondor more than any other nation, for now, I'm going to send the Mouth of Sauron to Hen of the Noon, I suppose, right? In this general area. And then we're going to focus a little bit of money on the generation of future returns. Let's just look at this for a little bit. Yeah, okay. It'll be very well worth it to construct a building ground in Saragost. I mean, it's worth it to construct them anywhere, but Saragost in particular, I feel. Our economy is, of course, not the greatest in the world. But it's going to be decent. It's going to be decent. A lot is going to be done through mining, I feel. So, we're going to build some building grounds. Wherever we can build decent mines. And we practically have only castles. So, yay. Thorband. We don't even get farms. That's interesting. We just have a naturally high population growth or something. Okay. Interesting. Oh, a naturally high corruption. Let's get some leather tanners going. Never poo-poo decent armor. And they're a cheap way to generate a little bit of extra income in due course. And then we're going to keep an eye. I mean, we're going to be attacked by Gondor. It's going to happen. So maybe here would be a good idea to have a slave pit, right? Because, yeah, all that stuff. We're going to send all troops that are not free upkeep. To Minas Mordor. And Leofric, you're going to be worth more as a commander than anything else. Let's hold off on that for a minute as we construct our slave pit, because that will be well worth it. And likewise with this one, we want that eventually. Maybe we should start with that actually. Yeah. I have decided. There we go.
Get ready for fighting.
Leofric was born into a simple life, and for all the years of his youth he lived the life of his forefathers. As a shepherd in the vast plains of Ravanian, he grew tall and strong and was contented, as tradition dictated. When Leofric was 10, his father gave him his first sword, a sturdy blade of simple steel forged by the smithies of Glimsburg. Yeah. Leofric quickly set himself apart with the sword and proved to be something of a natural. Far more than that, he possessed a skill with the blade that none in the north had seen in living memory. In time, his fame as the untrained sword master spread, and eventually challengers came to test their mettle against this wonder boy from the plains. 10 more summers passed, and his fame and strength grew and grew, until there was none left to challenge him. Little did he know that by far his greatest challenge was already mustering to the south. To begin with, none knew from whence they came, and worse still, none expected them. They were horrible, vile creatures that lolloped across the ground with clumsy and unnerving strides, snarling and biting as they came. They fell upon towns and camps in dead of night, and their skin was blackened and charred as though they were created in fire itself. The Northmen swiftly came to call them the Burning Death. But the elders knew what they were. Orcs. Their presence in the north was more than just petty raiding parties. A vast army had been sent from the south to enslave the hardy Northmen for the machinations of the Dark Lord. At this time, the Northmen had no king, and they lived in small townsteads or as farmers and nomads on the plains, going where the herds led them. In times of strife, they looked to the village of elders for guidance, but not leadership. With no central figure to rally behind or to give hope and guidance, panic spread amongst the north like wildfire. There were many strong warriors among the Northmen, but without a captain or a strategy, they couldn't hope to hold back the rising tide. All was to change, however, when the Burning Death finally came upon Leofric's homestead. By that time, he knew of the orcs well, everyone did. And he knew it would only be a matter of time before their plundering attacks brought them to his home. He had made ready. He began by teaching any who could wield a blade the art of swordsmanship. Young lads, old farmers, staunch wives, tall sons, and brave daughters. First his homestead, then his neighbours, then their neighbours, and beyond. It was not long before word spread that a champion had risen in the north and was assembling an army to end this plague once and for all. Hundreds flocked to his homestead to fight by his side or to learn from this master. Leofric spoke to each and every person who came to his home, and they found in him hope. Hope that the dying ruins of the north could be born again under a brighter star. Admiration for Leofric grew strong, and his simple homestead grew into a ramshackle and makeshift city. The elders, who had been forced to seek refuge with Leofric, came together and resolved to see the north return to glory. They called to Leofric in the dead of night, and before a crowd of some 10,000 they proclaimed him Leofric I, King of all Northmen. News of his coronation spread wide, and in time this news came on the wind to the orcs themselves. The orcs had grown fat from easy victory after easy victory, and they were complacent in their success. They underestimated the Northmen and thought nothing of this upstart king, and marched to meet him with little concern. Leofric proved not only to be a man of the people, a warrior of honor, and a true son of Ravanian, but also a master tactician. His armies dealt an earth-shattering blow to the orcs, and the ripple of this defeat was felt in the heart of Mordor itself. Leofric and his army then scoured Ravanian, gathering more supporters and scattering and slaughtering any orc that came before their path. His success threatened to boil over into a very crusade against the home of this Burning Death, and with Northmen from all of Ravanian crying out for vengeance. Instead, their cries were challenged by the most feared being of all, Sauron. Riding north with an army numbered in the hundreds of thousands, come to put down this upstart king once and for all. Sauron met Leofric's army in the very heart of Ravanian. There he called on Leofric to meet him in the field in single combat. Leofric met his call. He stood before the dark visage of the Lord of Shadow, and he did not waver. Sauron felt the power, strength, and the honor of this man, and his mind saw opportunity. He spoke to Leofric. I see you have earned your reputation as the king of the north well, boy. But your advisors feed you untruths. I come here not as a conqueror, but as an ally. Your command of your people is to be commended, and I see in them a strength I never thought possible. Further bloodshed here would be folly. I offer you a simple exchange. My army will disband, return south and not trouble your land or your people again. You can live in peace. In return, I ask only that you accept this simple ring as a token of my esteem, and wear it always to remind you of our accord here today. What say you? Leofric did not speak. He looked out at Sauron's gathered horde, and the threat that would forever reside to the south of his land, his ancestors' land, his people's land. Silently he raised his arm, his hand widespread. Suddenly he clenched his fist, and in an instant the sky was darkened with black shafts of the Northmen. Leofric's forces were gravely outnumbered, but the orcs, even those led by Sauron himself, could not hope to contend with the storm of precise arrow fire now whistling toward them. Thousands of the enemy were cast down in initial volleys, but this was not their first battle. The orcs quickly regrouped and raised their shields high. Then, to the sound of 100 clear ringing horns, they mastered their fear and charged into the waiting lines of the Northmen. The battle was bloody and fierce. The orcs had met a challenge in the Northmen that would not be easily overcome. Leofric watched on, pride swelling in his chest, as the orcs fell to the stalwart defenders of the north. For every man who fell, 5 orcs would fall with him. Confident, he turned his gaze back to Sauron. The tall figure before him showed no signs of outward emotion, nor, to Leofric's dismay, any obvious weakness. Sauron began to close on Leofric, and where before he had been unarmed, a great mace now cut through the air. The head of this ghastly weapon was as large as a pig and could crush Leofric in a single blow. He drew his sword, gave a thought to his forefathers, and charged in silence. It is said the fight between Sauron and Leofric rent the very earth about their feet, and sent flames high into the sky. Sword and mace both wielded effortlessly and with grace. Neither opponent showed a sign of dropping or made a mistake. They fought for what seemed like hours, until Sauron was able to strike a powerful blow to Leofric's leg. He crashed to the ground, and all his hope and thought of victory crashed with him. His leg was broken. It took all his strength to kneel upon his other leg, lest he show weakness before his men. Sauron had won, and Leofric, head down, waited for the end, but it did not come. A voice whispered in his ear, "Take this ring, Leofric. Take it, and wear it ever after, or I will cleanse the north of every living thing. This decision I give to you, your people or your pride." Leofric knew his lands would never truly shake off the threat of Mordor, but he couldn't allow his people to perish here. He couldn't allow his ancestors to be forgotten. He raised up his hand with an outstretched finger and bowed his head low. Sauron gave a sign to his bannermen, and a loud, clear horn rang out. Suddenly the orcs retreated en masse, and all gathered Northmen still standing could see, in the center of the field, their king bowing to Sauron. The Lord of Shadow placed a simple golden ring upon the kneeling king's finger. To the bewilderment of the Northmen, Sauron gave a short bow to Leofric, and then turned about and walked away. His army fell in line to his sides, and with that, the orc incursion in the north ended. So it came to pass that the mighty King Leofric the Bowed came under the power of Sauron. And similar Nazgul tales will crop up for sure along the campaign. Let's end the first turn and see where we go. Hooah! So it's interesting, who shall attack whom? Well, I guess we should probably strike while the iron is hot, leaving the AI for to its own devices for too long is a recipe for, well, if not disaster, at least a slog. And we should probably try to do some damage to Gondor. Fornost reclaimed.
Come on, ready. Hurry up. Keep going.
Okay. We're going to train our spy a little bit.
Way.
Hello there, Mayorman. With your Osgiliath veterans. Captain General Boromir with his White Tower Guard.
No sleeping here. Oh. Listen up. Objective.
Okay. What do we want in here? We want Leather Tanner. And Leather Tanners. Slave Pit. You continue with your thing, it's good. Okay.
At your service.
And then
Yes.
What is it you wish to discuss?
I wish to discuss trade rights. You know you can trust me.
Acceptable. Good day to you.
Lovely.
At once.
And off we
Tomorrow's
go
journey awaits.
to Rune.
Stopping here.
Ready.
We'll probably need to train our spy for a little while before he's any use. 52 chance is not really something I like the thought of. Today's tea is as black as Mordor itself. It is a black tea fashioned from licorice, and I enjoy it very, very much, especially in these morning hours. Because I am indeed coming to you in the morning, getting my day started with a new campaign. It's it's a new day, it's a new life.
Yes.
Goodness.
Without question, my lord. At once.
Yeah, that's not going to be
Without question, my
our
lord.
first target. Let's see if we can get some. Ah, Dumbledore. Hello there, sir. You've got quite the army.
Orcs.
Okay, Saragost, now you can build mines in 1 turn less and for a lot less money as well. That's very nice. And over here, maybe we should just make the place grow, but it'll never grow into anything more than a castle for us, I think. So let's keep it as it is, like there. The Morannon, yes. A building ground. It's a nice little building to have. We're gonna get some more little tanners and all that. And we will want some more gold chosen, yes. That's quite nice. And here, Sauron's Will. Yes, for sure. We want some of those. We want some of those. The Orc Archer. Not exactly a great unit. But, you know, it is what it is. We are not going to beat them on quality. That's for sure. Morty! And lovely it is. Now with Leofric the Bowed sitting here in Minas Morgul, maybe we should make a little excursion. What? How do you get the seaward spearmen over there?
Be gone. Ready.
Strange.
Hold up.
Lunmas, you're just not good at that thing. Oh, hello, Faramir. You bugger. Okay.
Orcs, listen up. We have completed an objective.
Not quite. Your objective is to take Southern Ithilien here, so don't, you know, time to get carried away or something. Minas Morgul. A leather worker as well. That would be nice. Getting that armor up and running.
At your service. Yes. Continuing tomorrow. Stopping here.
Get ready for fighting.
Oh goodness, I'm not used to our units being this bad. Seeing such stats, it fills me with anxiety almost. Oh, hello, Faramir. So you're gonna be coming around, are you? Well, I'm gonna counter your fine archers with crappy raiders. Moran and Guard, I suppose. Why not?
No sleeping here.
Okay, Osgiliath.
Ready. Keep going.
Yes, another little eye for us.
Hurry
Yay.
up.
Okay.
Listen up.
Um.
Come on. Kill them all. Destroy them.
Ready. Yes. Without question, my lord.
Without question, my
Continuing
lord.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's journey awaits.
They must have that settlement over there.
Continuing
Or
tomorrow.
Onodrith or whatever it is. Okay, faction announcements. Some extra traits and retinue. The Moranen gets a building ground. Let's also get a carpenter's hut. We'll also want a carpenter's hut over there. I guess we'll want a lot of maulers. If we have them in sufficient numbers, they can hack down quite a few things. They're an armor-piercing unit. They have a decent attack for the early game, and Gondor keeps building up. Gothmog, you beautiful man. I guess. You are going to be charged with keeping Minas Morgul
Get ready for fighting.
in our hands. And it's gonna be fun, trust me. Orc archers? Yeah, let's get some orc archers. They're bad, but at least they are kind of bad, you know? Okay. Ooh. We can make a black temple already. Oh, that is tempting. Building ground. Yeah, so we got all the leather tanners. Well, at least I think so. At least almost. Need a leather tanner over there. And a leather tanner over there. Let's see how the Mouth of Sauron gets on
Yes.
with the Rohirric landscape.
Stopping here. At your service, my lord.
Yes, there we go.
Tomorrow's
Just
journey
in time.
awaits.
Just in time. So the goal of our economy is essentially we must always be building a mine. Always be building a mine.
Ready.
Apparently spying on Faramir is the most feasible thing. You'd think that he would actually be pretty wise to that sort of thing, but no. No, he's not. He's let his guard down. Or something like that. Shall we just throw our orcs at Ostathiel immediately? I guess so. Sort of in keeping. Just assaulting as soon as possible.
Don't waste time.
Oh, goodbye, Gondor.
This
Where are you go? Where are you off to?
Hurry up.
Karandros. Okay.
Keep going. Ready. This way.
Can I help, my lord? Without question.
What is
And wait. Hello, hello, hello. You want to know where I live, and I want your money.
acceptable until we meet
Thank you.
again.
At once. Continuing to
The Dark Lord hustles. The Dark Lord bustles. All right. Ooh, Morgul chosen. Yeah, okay. So that's what we'll get over there. And we're building everywhere, pretty much. Which is how we like it. A few extra troops won't hurt, will it? No. We're just building up a little bit. We'll take Ostathiel. And then life will be good. And then we could... hello, Gondor. Yeah, if you're going to deal with those rebels, that would be very nice of you. And, come on, don't obstruct my...
Tired of ordering your own forces about, eh?
I'm tired of seeing your troops in my land, Gondor. Really? Oh, your relation to me is poor now. Well, what could have caused that to happen? Trade is pretty valuable here, actually. So let's focus on that. Durtang. Yeah, we're gonna want that tower, and that means upgrading our building infrastructure. Because we'll also want it to upgrade, and that's gonna be pricey. Pretty pricey indeed. Umgrat, I think you can leave your Gestalad, really. And go to Minas Morgul.
Objective complete.
And then speaking of that stuff...
Get ready for fighting.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Objective complete. We have completed.
We will assemble an army.
Mission on. Kill them all.
So, Nagburg. There we go. Taking the place. Roar. Okay. What do we need here? Could build some mines, but really, we need a shrine of Melkor, I think.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Continuing tomorrow. Tomorrow's journey awaits.
So, Gondor, what are you gonna do about it?
Warrior, not a diplomat.
You gonna attack me? I suppose you are at some point. We'll see when that is. No, it's not yet. Okay, then we might just launch an all-out assault on you instead. Tee-hee. Yay! Money from the council. Very, very nice. Is that a lightly defended settlement? I think it is.
Hurry up. Ready.
Let's see if we can get in. Yay! We got in. Okay. There's a small chance that we'll actually be able to take it outright. But we can't. Okay. Oh well, we'll build some of that then. We'll get in. Eventually. Umgrat. Into Minas Morgul you go. Building ground, please.
Listen up. Oh, objective complete. Be gone.
Alright, time for Leofric to smash up Dynamin. Boom, boom, boom.
We destroyed.
Very nice. And we should certainly move to expand northward.
Sleep in here. Take your feet up. Regroup, you louts.
Into the fort we go. Save a little cash. Rest over. It's gonna be nice.
Orcs. Listen up.
Everywhere building? No. We'll get to it then. Don't have all day here.
Noble one, we have something for you.
I will take your trade rights and I will counter them with a little bit of mola.
I cannot refuse such a... We are most willing to hear you out further.
And then, as the sirens go through the streets of Copenhagen, we ask money for map. No? Okay. Fair enough.
Farewell.
I think the trade will do us just fine. That should plug a hole in the trade deficit from Gondor. Ah, getting to know Dol Guldur. You know what? That might not be so bad an idea.
An honor, Lord. Without question, my lord.
And then... oh yes, of course. We have roads to build. Eventually. Always be building mines. Oh, hello, Faramir. Welcome to the fray.
Kill them all. We destroyed the enemy.
Oh, hello, Barry here.
You in battle.
Well, aren't you just happy to be here? Smash. Smash.
We destroyed the enemy.
Then Gothmog. Oh, goodness, you got so many defenders. Ah, okay.
Listen up.
Well, that's a bit annoying. You know what?
Attack. Chop 'em to pieces. Listen up. Get ready for
Okay,
fighting.
you go to Minas Morgul. In a turn, we're gonna send out some more troops. It's gonna be nice. And then Osgiliath will fall at that point. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Mouth of Sauron, you're doing your thing. Lumas, you're sitting in a Osgiliath, unable to move. But, yeah. Gondor mobilizes to defend Eastern Osgiliath. But I don't think it's gonna be enough. Oh, as requested, Zagar has now returned to serve our Lord Sauron. Zagar was a Númenorian born into a faithful family in Andúnie. He became Sauron's chief assassin after he killed his own father in cold blood. You can learn of Zagar's tale by selecting him on the campaign map. The man who would become Zagar, the feared blade of Sauron, was born in the Second Age, 1656, in the city of Andúnie upon the Isle of Númenor. His parents, among the most devoted of the city's faithful, named their newborn child Nimrozir, elf friend, throughout the days of his youth. Nimrozir came to love and admire the elves just as his family did, seeing them constantly in the streets and the ports of Andúnie. As his father would often invite travelling elves to dine with his family, Nimrozir grew up listening to their tales, and was awed by their wisdom and the long ages that so many had experienced. When the word reached Númenor of Nimrozir's father, Sauron's invasion of Eriador and the fall of Regin, Nimrozir's father journeyed with the Lord of Andúnie to Armenalos in order to petition King Tar-Minastir to aid Gil-galad and the elves. This force was finally assembled, and Nimrozir rallied to the call along with his father, brother, and numerous others of his friends and family. The great war that followed ended in victory, and of course Nimrozir played his own valiant part in it. Near Londres, he led an advanced force that held a vital bridge for hours against overwhelming numbers, and at the decisive battle of the Waffle, Nimrozir led one of the key charges that finally shattered the enemy ranks and sent the orcs fleeing. However, even such victories were not without cost, and Nimrozir suffered more than his share of grief, as his close friends and family members fell one by one during the campaign. Drink some tea. The most grievous blow came at the Waffle, where Nimrozir's brother fell to an orcish arrow just on the cusp of victory, eventually dying in his arms. When all was finished, only Nimrozir and his father remained of their close companions and kin to join the sadly reduced force sailing home. As the Númenorians returned victorious, so many revelled in what they had won, but Nimrozir could think only of all that he had lost. Why had his friends and family sailed so far from home, and what had they truly gained that was worth the lives the war had ended? Nimrozir could find neither peace nor closure from these questions, but only a growing anger. In the months and years that followed, Nimrozir found he could no longer even look upon an elf without thinking of those he had lost fighting to aid them. His father noticed the change, but any efforts to confront Nimrozir led only to greater anger. Why should we have spilled our own blood to defend the elves from their own follies? What do they care of us when our lives are but a flicker before their eyes anyway? We give our lives to preserve theirs, yet still they deny us the eternal life of the West. Then, one night, as he stormed away from yet another argument with his father, Nimrozir heard a low voice behind him. Those of short horizons will never heed you. Nimrozir whirled in a rage to find a tall hooded figure step out of the blackness. Who are you? Why are you following me? You called me Dulgukor, the figure replied, lowering his hood as he did so. I am here because I can grant you that which you have craved for years, that which elves cannot give, that which the Valar dare not give, though you are no less worthy than they. I, and I alone, of the powers of this world, can grant you eternal life. Nimrasir had taken Dol Guldur as first for simply a fellow man of Numenor, but as he had spoken these astonishing words, his air had changed as well. It was as though Dol Guldur had lowered the hood from not just his face, but his essence as well. The more he spoke, the more he seemed to reveal a hidden power that Nimrasir had never seen in an ordinary man, or even any elf that he had encountered. But finally Dol Guldur smiled. Take this and claim your greatest desire, he said, holding out an open hand to reveal a ring. Put aside the cruel gift bestowed upon all men and accept mine instead. Merely put on this ring and live on. Live on for all the lives lost by the follies of others. Live on for all the life cruelly denied, and live on to take the eternal lives of those unworthy to possess them. Thus he tipped the ring into Nimrasir's palm, turned and vanished into the night. Nimrasir studied the ring, a simple golden circle of seemingly ordinary craft, but set with a small gem so black that it seemed to drink in the night around it. And as he held it, Nimrasir found that the ring was not merely cold to the touch, but a wheel of ice in his palm, so bitter that it seemed almost to burn. His first reflex was to drop it, but he found that his hand seemed unable to summon the will to turn over. At last, seemingly of their own will, his fingers slowly closed around the ring, and he slipped it into a pocket. Yet for all its seeming power, Nimrasir could not forget its ominous bone-chilling cold. Over the following weeks, he kept the ring with him, but could not quite bring himself to actually wear it. Finally, one dark night, Nimrasir was sitting at his table, staring at the ring laid out in front of him, when suddenly the door burst open to reveal his father. Nimrasir snatched up the ring, but not quickly enough, and his father demanded to see what he held. As Nimrasir slowly opened his hand, his father reached out questioningly to examine the ring within. Yet as his fingers touched it, both Nimrasir and his father felt a jolt of cold run through their hands, and Nimrasir saw the look on his father's face change from curiosity to horror. My son, I do not know where this ring came from, but it cannot be anything good. Surely this can only be the work of a great evil, such as we fought in Eriador, such as our people have fought for an age. Throw it away now, or you will be lost forever. And when Nimrasir found himself hesitating, his father leapt forward to snatch the ring from him. At that moment, Nimrasir felt a shadow pass between the two of them. The ring had been bestowed on him alone. Only an enemy would try to wrest it from him. Nimrasir fought back, and though his father struggled fiercely to pry open his fingers, Nimrasir grabbed a dagger from the nearby table and drove it through his father's throat. As Nimrasir sat transfixed with horror at what he had done, a familiar low voice spoke behind him. You did not kill him. His own folly killed him, just as the follies of the elves killed so many of whom you held dear. Nimrasir turned wordlessly towards the voice. Dol Guldur continued. Your blade has thwarted one who would steal your birthright from you. Now become the blade that thwarts those who would steal my birthright. You need only claim at last the power I have gifted you, and at last the man who had been elf friend discarded his old name and the tenets of the faithful, and slipped the cold ring onto his finger. He and Dol Gulgor escaped Numenor that night by ship, throwing off pursuit by first sailing west, just beyond the limits of the ban of the Valar. And in the centuries that followed, all of Middle-earth would come to know the terror of Zagar, the blade, who brought the cold hand of death to all those whose follies led them to oppose the Dark Lord, Sauron. And so here we have him. He's a marksman. Cool. Okay.
Pick your feet up.
Yeah, let's get him to pick his bloody feet up.
Listen up. Objective complete.
Let's upgrade the carpenter's hut. And over here, a leather worker. That's going to be nice. Morghost. For now, you're going to get... What are we going to focus you on? Yeah. The basics, the basics, the basics. Alright. Then, let's see. Can we... yes, we can actually send troops to aid our lovely little Nazgul friend.
Pick your feet up. Kill them all.
And so, Meerman, ye shall die. And we shall end this episode in style by the conquest of Osgiliath. Oh goodness, I didn't I didn't do a quick save. So, let's hope we don't crash. For if we do, well. If we do, then, you know, then we do, I guess. So essentially what we're going to do is tire them out with orc hosts and Moranna guards. We're going to hack them to bits with the slayers, the maulers. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, this lovely fella. Oh, he's also a temple marksman. Okay, we're getting all the temple marksmen first. Interesting. And we have all the archers. Everybody's gonna walk over to the gate. The raiders, you're essentially just a worse version of the orc host. Ah, goodness, it is hard to be believed, but it's true. And, Sauron's will. Let's put you in with the maulers. Essentially, we're going to start by firing against the enemy. You know, we might be Mordor, but we're not stupid. I guess. Maybe. Maybe we are. I don't know. Come, everyone. There is much work to be done, and the terror of the North School is upon our foes today. Oh, there are the Osgiliath veterans. Ah, hello. Hello, hello. Archers, run through, set up, spears. Everybody, run into your positions. And Numenorians of the dark variety. Come along, everybody, come along. I'm going to send Moran and Guard just to tie up the Osgiliath veterans. And they're not going to do terribly well. But we are going to shoot a bit at them, at the veterans while we go. Orc scouts? Yeah. What can you do, really? Who knows? None of you are going to be skirmishing. Alright. They fall little by little. Oh, hello. Here come the defenders. Trying to get at us from the side. They shall not succeed. Orcs, run around the side, please. We're going to be tactical about this. What do we have here? Orc Draught. Arrgh.
Continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Okay. Why does it... Why does it break my army organization? That's a terrible skill. Why? What's the meaning of that? Anyway.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Okay, Mordor chosen. Very good. Orc host, run to where you were. Always supposed to be. Let's shoot some of those Gondor defenders as well. Make them bleed! Goodness, those defenders are actually good. What right do they have to actually be good? Let's see what this does. Yeah, it does seem to help a little bit.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
As one does indeed hope. Okay, Orc host, you are tasked with pinning the enemy in place back there. It is not an enviable task, but it is one that falls to you regardless. Maybe I don't care about your lives, but I do care about your results, so do a good job, please. Okay. Yeah, you're 14, you can go and join them as well. Yeah, finally. I'm starting to gain some ground on these defenders. Ah, there we have him himself, I think. Is that Mayaman? I guess it must be. Mayaman. Mayaman? I don't know. Pay attention. Okay.
Only half the enemy force
Okay.
remains.
So, it's time for our dear Numenorians to join battle with the enemy. Rip them apart! Ooh, we have some more archers. Yay! Yeah, we can just keep you guys in the back, I guess.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Let's put it up to ×3 speed. Shift clicking that bugger. Okay. Arrgh. Hack him down.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Yay, more troops. Woohoo! Will they make it to the battlefield? Who knows? Roar! Come, my friends! Brave orcs of Mordor! Or something. They're not gonna know what hit 'em. They're not gonna know what hit 'em. Except for the flag that we fly, the Mordor flag. So I guess they are gonna know what hit 'em. I guess they are gonna know what hit 'em. Because we fly the Mordor flag. Come on, guys, put him out of his misery. Though I'm not actually sure that he's miserable. That's just conjecture. But I tell you for sure that I would be pretty damn miserable if I were fighting our lovely, lovely orcs.
Control of the city.
Yeah. Roar! Everybody, run to the enemy. Oh yeah, you guys still fighting that? Okay. I'm not really that enthused by the orc draught. The orc draught. It's it seems to be pretty ineffective at anything but just confusing your battle tactics. I don't know, maybe it gives a little bit of a stamina boost, I don't know. Ah, there he goes. Goodbye, Mayman. Ah, and the orc band arrived. Aw, but there's some maulers over there that were not allowed to enter the field of battle. We've been too successful for them to be needed, so. Come on, let's put these guys to the sword.
The battle is very
Yes, and we celebrate. Goodness gracious. We still lost more than they did, but I guess that's a sight we're gonna need to get used to with Mordor. Temple Marksman, doing the best. Who would have thought? Oh, but Sauron's will are not far behind. Actually, they're ahead. Well done, guys. Very well done. Although, doing well should also be, considered in context of their losses. So, yeah. Maybe they're a little behind the Marksman in that regard. But still. A lovely little victory. Where we only lost a quarter of our army. So, Gondor, your move. With that lovely little battle out of the way, we will end today's episode. No matter what we do, a bunch of people are going to die. Let's just occupy it. We get a little bit of money, we don't kill as many people. Life is good. And they even built it out a little bit. Very nice. Let's just spy on some folks and get our spy up to snuff. Attempt a night attack and yeah, kill them all. Yay! Goodbye, Gondor. I'm so used to saying goodbye, Mordor. There we go. Leofric the Bowed continues his rampage. Yeah. Very nice indeed. And then what are we going to do? We're going to send some folks over to keep Western Osgiliath under pressure. Maybe take some of these guys in there and in there.
Get ready for fighting. Orcs, listen up. Get ready for fighting. Listen up.
You know what? Actually, we're gonna put Leofric to work.
Come on.
Now we're getting a little bit extra money from some fighting done, which is very good. Is there any particular use to which we want to put that money? I guess we're just, yeah, we're building out our infrastructure. Eventually. And Osterthiel becomes a tiny bit more profitable. Yay! What do we want here? A slave pit, perhaps? Reducing corruption. I don't know. Building ground. Building ground. If in doubt, building ground. And over here, we just continue to churn out the lovely essentials that we have come to love. And as such, the first episode of the Mordor extravaganza is at an end. And I hope you shall follow as more adventures into the foray of the Dark Lord continue.
Get ready for fighting.
Yeah. You know what? I like this. It's an interesting little change of pace from fighting as elves and humans, where you can actually rely on quality. This is a different playstyle entirely, and I sort of appreciate it. So, have a lovely, lovely day, everybody. Welcome to this Mordor campaign, and if you like evil mischief, then make sure to check out the Ardunaic one, where we start out in Rune Mistrand, challenging forces of evil. But I mean, really, that campaign is more of an evil thing in many, many ways, because we end up fighting everybody, and that's actually decently similar to this. But anyway, have a lovely, lovely, lovely time of it, and I shall see you soon. Captain Turtle Waffle considerably out.